Hello boss babes and bosses out there. So in this video, I'm going to share with you how to create a content strategy that will help you achieve your social media goals. Diba sa previous video natin, you remember I'm sharing with you how to create a social media strategy for your client. And isa sa mga step doon is to create specific goal together with your client. You will ask the client ano talaga yung gusto niya na goal. But most of the clients really don't know how to set goals for their social media. That's why you are there to help them recognize kung ano talaga dapat yung maging goal nyo every week, every month, or maybe every quarter, every year, yung ganun. So, after setting that one, di ba, ang next step doon is to plan your content to achieve those goals, di ba? So, ito yung video na yon. I mentioned sa last video natin na we really have to be strategic. Hindi lang tayo dapat consistent, hindi lang dapat tayo nagpro-provide ng good value because that is nothing if we are not so strategic on how we are going to put out our content right in front sa target market natin, right? So, now, ito yung content strategy na gagawin natin for our target market. We will create a content calendar based on the buyer's journey. So what I mean by this, diba? I've shared with you the buyer's journey. First, the awareness stage. They have to know you. For example, you are selling a product, a program, or maybe you have a service na gusto mong isell. They have to know you first for that, na you exist. And you have these products, or maybe you have this service, or maybe you have this kind of program that can help them. The second stage is the consideration stage. Ito na yung stage na dapat magustuhan kanila. They will like you. Ito na stage, after knowing you, dapat you will always show up providing value to them and solving their problems through your content para malike nila yung content mo. It's like also, you know, courting someone, you have to present yourself or parang i-introduce mo yung self mo. And then after, diba, you always put your best foot forward always. Like, yan din yung gagawin mo basically sa content mo. Like, you always provide value and you always try to solve their problem kasi that's a good way for them to like you. And now, the third phase, which is the conversion, ito na yung time na magkakaroon na sila ng trust sa'yo and there's a big possibility na bibili sila sa kung ano man yung isisell mo. Product man yan, service man yan, program man yan, course man yan. It's easier for you to sell if they already know you and if they already like you. Like, parang you are going to build your credibility first, your authenticity first, na mas maniwala sa'yo, na you are expert at this, or you have the best product for this kind of problem, yung ganun. So, with that being said, so meron tayong tatlong phase. The know, like, and trust na phase, diba? So, I'm gonna share with you kung ano yung mga content categories or content topics that you can share sa social media nyo or sa social media ng client nyo sa awareness stage, yung sa know stage. So, first thing is mga behind the scenes. Let's say you are going to introduce your team, all about you, all about the company, all about the culture that you have, ano yung stand nyo, values nyo, ano yung mission nyo, and maybe you can take short video clips para maipakita ko ano yung mga processes nyo na ginagawa nyo sa company nyo. So, that's first content pillar. The second content pillar that you can share during sa awareness stage is mga entertainment or humor kind of content. Mga funny videos or mga memes, pwede kayong mag-share niyan, or maybe meron kayong mga pa-quiz-quiz, yung parang for engagement lang talaga. Para mas maraming mag-share, parang mas maraming mag-like, parang mas maraming mag-comment. So, another content pillar pa for this awareness stage is yung inspirational, motivational, relatable kind of post. So, mostly dito sa mga quotes, mga scenarios na you are going to share to them so that they can be inspired. It's like more on storytelling here na part because it's easier for you to get emotions from other people if you are telling a story to them. Okay, so for the next stage naman or sa second phase, which is the consideration stage, yung like stage na dapat kang malike. It's like more on giving solutions to their problem, giving more value, giving more informative content here sa phase na to. So, ito yung mga sample content pillars sa stage na to is educational and informative content. It can be mga tips, and mga tutorials. So, the second naman of content type that you can use para sa consideration stage is yung mga industry news updates. Kung ano yung trending, kung ano yung bago, kung ano yung mga updates na ngayon. Diba, as I always share sa video natin na dapat sa industry na ito, you are always learning something new. Dapat you are always updating and upskilling kasi sa industry natin, parang ngayon ito yung best, pero tomorrow meron ng ibang mas best pa niyan, yung ganon. You have to adapt. I can also say that curated content is also a good consideration stage kind of content. It's because you are going to share here yung mga experts content din. Like for example, merong expert sa industry niya na nagsabi na AI is good for all freelancers. Tapos, you are going to grab that content, you post it, and then you have your own insights kung ano ka ba, agree ka ba doon or disagree ka doon. That's one content pillar na maganda din siya for the consideration stage because the people will really know that you are an expert sa industry na yan because you have your own insights and you have your own stand then when it comes to this kind of topic sa industry nyo. The next content pillar then na pwede nyo i-share is yung kind of content where you answer your customers' inquiries or your customers' concerns. So you can create mga content like that na mostly ina-ask sa inyo so that hindi na always pabalik-balik sa inbox nyo yung tanong na yan kasi nagawa nyo na siya ng content. Makikita nila na this brand or this company or this entrepreneur is really taking care of their customers or their audience kasi ina-address talaga nila yung mga issues or yung mga always na ini-inquire ng mga customers or audience. Therefore, the consideration stage here is that they should feel and they should know that you are the expert on this industry and you are the best sa industry na to. Parang gustuhan ka nila, and once magustuhan ka nila, it would be easier for you to convert them as buyers, as customers. With that being said, let's go now kung ano yung mga conversion content pillars na pwede nyong gawin sa social media nyo or sa client nyo. Okay, so for the conversion stage, the trust stage, ang mga content pillars that I would suggest is yung promoting your products and services, whether mag-launch post ba kayo or magpa-promo kayo, meron kayong discount. For example, merong special event, let's say Christmas, meron kayong pa-discount during Christmas or maybe your birthday or anniversary ng business nyo, meron kayong pa 50% off, yung mga ganon. You can do that. That will be belong sa conversion stage, meaning you are already selling, you are already pitching your products, your course, your program, your services, kung anong business kayong meron. That's one content pillar, promotion and sales. The second one, I would say, is that good way then to parang sell something is when you are going to use mga user-generated content. Yung mga user-generated content, ito yung mga content na created by the customer or the audience. Maybe testimonial or reviews or their sharing how to use this product, yung mga ganon. So, that would be a good way to sell and pitch your product, no? It may be a video or a post. It depends kung ano yung gawin nila na content. It really helps the people know that you have a community and you have authenticity sa brand mo talaga or sa company mo talaga. And the last content pillar that I'm going to share with you is yung contest or giveaway. Ito yung mga content type where pwede siyang sa awareness stage at the same time pwede din siya sa conversion. Why I would say that it's because having this kind of post, like it will really invite more engagements, it will really invite more shares, comments, parang gagawin nila lahat just to join the giveaway because people really love mga prizes, mga free giveaways, yung parang they can get that by just sharing your post, joining this contest, yung ganon. So, pwede siyang mabelong sa awareness. You can post that one. You are attracting people to engage with your content and to know you. But at the same time, this is also a good way to, you know, put this one as conversion. For example, you are going to ask them na when you buy our product, magiging part ka sa paraffle namin and then you will win a free, let's say, another gift mo din sa kanila. Yung ganun. And with that being said, meron na tayong mga content pillars na nasa know, like, and trust. Now, I'm gonna share with you na how to create a content calendar based sa know, like, and trust kind of strategy and the content pillars na mga shinare ko, ganito yung gawin nyo. For example, let's say your client wants you to start posting sa July, no? So you have to check sa content calendar sa July mo. And then first, you have to decide how many posts are you going to post per week. For example, let's say you are thinking you are going to post 4 content every week, let's say, and then you are going to plot it. 4 posts, you are going to start with the no and dalawang like and isang trust. So, I'm gonna share my screen so that you will get it kung ano yung sinasabi ko. But it's up to you. The point here is that you have to post awareness muna before you are going to provide value and before ka mag-sell. So now, since I'm gonna share with you the, let's say, 4 posts per week, so ang gagawin ko is isang K, dalawang L before I'm going to E. Okay, so para mas maintindihan nyo yung gusto kong i-explain is that ito yung list ng content pillars for the no stage or awareness stage, and then here's the list naman for the like and then the trust stage. The first task natin is to plot the buyer's journey stages. So here, gamitin natin yung Airtable kasi feeling ko sa mga beginners, this would be a very good starting form para gamitin natin para mag-plot ng mga content, no? So for example, you have a new client and let's say, let's add a workspace. Brian, yung client's name. Let's say health and wellness coach siya. Just a sample lang naman, no? So, that's that. And then, gawa tayo ng base. Ang base, ito yung workspace natin na gagamitin for that coach sa content strategy niya. So, let's say, content strategy. Lagyan natin ng social media kasi pwedeng content strategy sa website niya or ganun. So, this one is for the social media. And then here, nakikita mo, meron siyang view, right? So, here, ilagay natin, instead of the name, ilagay natin yung content pillar. That's just a single text. For the notes, ibahin natin siya. Let's say, this one would be the copy or the caption. Make sure yung kind of element niya is yung long text kasi mataas sometimes yung copy or caption, right? I will just delete this one. I-add na lang natin to mamaya para hindi kayo ma-confuse. Okay, so after that, you can add, let's say here, the platform. Kasi maybe madami kayong hinandle na platform niya. Lagyan natin ng multiple select. So, pwede na this content would be Facebook niya, pwede sa Instagram, maybe sa YouTube, LI. You can add more. Pwedeng madami. Ganito yung ano niya. Mamili ka dito ng madami. Pwede na isa lang. Ganun. This is just a sample lang. So, for this one naman, image link. Dito, pwede siyang single line. The reason why may image link tayo na ilalagay, kasi sometimes ginagawa mo yung image mo sa Canva. So, you can just paste the link here so that your client can check the image as well. And then, let's add more content type. Sa content type, we can put here siguro multiple. Kasi pwede mo siyang lagyan ng short vid, pwede din na long form vid. This is for pwede siyang reels. Pwede siya sa TikTok, pwede siya sa shorts. It's up to you, pwede din carousel, pwede din na quote image, or image quote. It depends sa'yo. And then, story. It depends kung ano yung ilagay niyo dito. Para ma-track niyo lang kung what type of content siya. Or pure text lang ba? Wait lang, idagdag natin yun. Pure text lang. And then here, we can also add status. For the status, let's just say a drop down. Single select. Let's go for single select and let's say working, waiting for approval, for revision, for publishing, or published. And then that's that. And then, dito, pwede kayong mag-assign para ma-notify. For example, need na ma-check ni client yung ginawa nyo. You can assign the client para magkaroon siya ng notification about your work. And then, pwede din na i-allow nyo tong multiple users. Kasi maybe you need to assign it to your graphic designer. For example, ikaw lang yung naka-assign sa content tapos iba yung gagawa ng design or iba yung gagawa ng video. So, you can also add them here as well. And then you can also add hashtags. If need ka mag-provide ng hashtags, ilagay mo lang dito na long text and then create field. If ever need siya ng hashtag kasi merong platform dito na Instagram, ito yung hashtag na gagamitan, so it would be easier for them to check everything. After this one, don't forget to put the publish date, and then here click date, and then include the time, and of course the display time. Use the same time for all collaborators. It depends sa client mo kung ano yung target na country niya. So that's that, and then create field. This is just the basic things that you need para ma-complete yung elements na need sa isang post, no? And now, you can now click here the calendar. Ito na talaga yung first task nyo na gusto kong makita. And then, using the date field, ito yung publish date na ginawa mo, right? Sa last column. So, done. And then, as you can see here, meron na siyang tatlong unnamed record. Ito yung tatlong unnamed record. So, let's just delete this one kasi wala naman to, diba? Wala pa siyang laman. Delete all selected records. Then, let's go back here para mawala na siya. So now here, I want you to plot the buyer's journey. So let's say sa month of July tayo. Click mo lang tong para month of July. As you can see, the first Monday is 3. So here, I would like you to click this one, add, and then lagyan nyo siya ng no. It's up to you ha, pero my game plan would be no, like, trust. Ito. Ang first content ko would be here sa no, and then dalawang like and trust. Kasi ang plan ko is 4 posts per week. But it will change. Basta, ganito yung game plan na gagawin ko. It's up to you if you're going to do the same. But for someone who is handling a first-time client and you don't know when is the best time to post pa, this would be a good strategy. So for example, this one is no, and then like, this one is like pa rin, and then this one, Sunday, would be the trust or sell dito sa conversion. So therefore, sa isang week, may 3 post. Isang about you, about the company, yung mga ganun. Isang helpful content before you are going to sell here. Now, the reason why I would say that this would be a good strategy if you still don't know when is the best time to post for that client, kasi parang i-alternate ko siya. So, for the next week naman, Tuesday na naman yung publishing date ko. So, this will be no, and then like, and then dito na yung sell. Here, no, like, trust, or sell. Babalik tayo sa no. And then, this one, ano na lang siya, 29, 30, 31. So, I would say, isang like na lang dito, isang helpful content, tapos, diretso na tayo sa sell. Para at least, sa isang month, meron tayong 4 na conversion stage. T. Kahit meron tayong 4 na conversions, at least we have a lot of informative and helpful content that our audience can see that we are expert on that field or niche, or maybe our products, it's all about kung ano yung mga benefits na makukuha nila sa products or services natin. And then we can also build our integrity here kasi we are talking more about our company or about the people that's working for that brand and all. That's the step 1. So, alam na natin kung ano yung buyer's journey natin, no, sa per day. Now, we are now going to pick kung ano yung mga content categories or content pillars for each buyer's journey stage na pinili natin. Again, I'm going to share my screen so that mas magets nyo siya kung ano yung ibig sabihin ko. Now, the step 2 is to pick content categories, or what I mean by here is that the content pillars. So here, sa no, I would say here, BTS. Copy ko lang to. And then, here, another BTS. And then, let's say, isang entertainment. I would say, no, marami talaga engagement, basta humorous or yung nakaka-entertain yung content. And of course, itong inspirational marami din. Maraming shares, maraming engagements. So, meron na tayong content pillar for the no. And then, for the like, madami tayong likes dito na stage. Like, here, here. Mas gusto ko yung mga informative content. Very helpful sa mga audience or target market ko. And for the remaining, I would say, I would like this. To put my update kung anong what's trend or update of the news. And then curated content here. And then, this one as well. Let's put here this one. And then, for the conversion, I would say, ang uunahin ko is itong pa-contest and giveaways. Para mas marami agad na sasali, maraming magla-like, maraming mag-i-engage. Kasi parang double purpose talaga siya for me. And then, itong user-generated content, it depends din kasi if someone did a content for you. So, if meron, you can use that one. Or, you can just put something like this. Yung pag-promote mo sa products mo talaga. So, ayan. This is the step 2. Naka-plot na yung buyer's journey mo and then meron ka ng content pillar na inassign for each buyer's journey. Now, again, it's really up to you if you are going to use this mga content pillars na sinadjust ko. Pwede na 3 lang or 4 or 5 or 6 yung susundin mo dito. You can have your own categories then. It really depends kasi kung ano yung niche ng client mo. Baka kasi hindi to mag-make sense. So, that's that. The next one, dito na tayo, create a content topic. So, here, pagbalik natin dito, meron na siyang nakalagay ng mga content pillars, automatic, and then, of course, the published date. Ito mga published date, I would say, it depends then sa time na gusto mo. I would highly recommend maybe early in the morning before the people goes to work or after work, mga around 5 to 6 p.m. Kung wala ka pang fixed time talaga na makikita mo sa analytics ng client mo. Now, after putting the content categories or content pillar sa each buyer's journey natin, now I'm going to ask you to put the topic for the content pillar that you have chosen. Now, the next thing that I want you to do is to create a content topic here. You can put here kung ano yung topic, you can add more field here. Insert left, and let's just say single, and then content topic. And then, ano yung content topic mo? Let's say, for here, introducing myself or your team or your brand, something like that. And then here, educational. This is a health and wellness coach, no? Let's say, all about nutrition meals. For example, this one, mga industry topics news, I would say, you can ask ChatGPT. Yeah, I'm going to create another topic for that one. And basically, this one, I want you to fill out this one para sa content topic ng client mo. Again, we already have good videos on how to generate content topics for your clients and maybe for your own business. You can check out this playlist here. And yeah, basically, ito yung gusto kong makita. And then, for us to be able to see or check your work, click here, share, and then make sure na naka-read only lang siya, and then click here, share publicly, and then turn this one on. Click here to check your work. So, ito yung makita nila, but they cannot edit something here kasi read only lang siya. And then you can copy this one and then put this one inside sa Facebook group natin so that we can check it and we can give feedback sa ginawa niyo. So, that's that. Maybe you are having a hard time on creating content topic for each content pillar na ginawa mo. That's okay. I already have a playlist here on how to create content and how to generate content for your social media. Maraming videos na yan and I believe makaka-help na talaga siya na hindi ka maubusan ng content ideas or content topics for your social media post. But don't worry because there's always another way that we can create and generate content topics. I haven't created video pa on how to generate topic using AI. Don't worry, I'm gonna create that one for you. But for now, please check out the videos here sa playlist natin. The next step, of course, meron na kayong content topics. After that, you are now going to create the content. When I say the content, it involves na maybe reels, maybe long-form content, or maybe graphics lang, maybe memes, or maybe curated content. It's really up to the calendar that you have created, diba? It will be based doon. And also, it includes the copy na rin, or the caption. Again, I've already shared na how to create super efficient the caption for your social media. You can check out this video here. After that, after creating the content, the next step would be asking the approval of your clients. Again, I always say this na merong clients na gusto nilang i-check pa yung ma-publish, and meron ding clients na kebel. You do what you need to do. I'm good with that. Yung ganon. So, you just ask your client if pwede niyang ma-check before ma-publish. Pero kung sabihin niya na, no, you can schedule it right away, it's still good. And then, after that, let's say, na-approve na, you can schedule it na sa kung anong scheduler yung ginagamit nyo. Again, I also have videos here about how to schedule posts. Pwede sa Canva, pwede sa Hootsuite, pwede sa other platforms then. For the last, of course, don't forget to do a weekly audit and a monthly audit. The reason why I would highly suggest that you create a weekly audit, it's because it will be easier for you to determine when ang best time to post, ano ba talaga yung frequency na dapat for your business, ano yung mga type of content na gusto ng audience mo, yung mga ganun. Ay yung always na maraming engagement. Adapt to that. That's the reason why you have to do audit. So you can always adjust your strategy. This is so common na nangyayari, no? Sometimes the kind of content na feeling ko mag-blow up or maraming mag-i-engage, yun yung mga post na walang engagement pala. Tapos yung mga content na feeling ko, tsaka yun pa yung content or yun pa yung post na maraming nag-engage. So, you really don't know. You have to trust kung ano yung ipakita na figures or numbers na analytics mo, and just go with that kind of content. I guess that's that. And for the assignment, I want to see a content calendar for 1 month, and then gusto kong makita saan yung awareness post nyo, saan yung consideration post nyo, and saan nakalagay yung conversion post nyo. And also include content categories and topic na ha. So basically, something like this yung gusto kong makita sa assignment nyo ha. Okay, so that's that. Hopefully, you enjoy and you learned a lot sa challenge na to, because I like this kind of parang planning stage na. And hopefully, nag-enjoy din kayo and marami kayo natutunan. Again, if this is your first time to watch this video, this is an e-course series that you can follow if you want to become a social media manager. Again, you can join our Facebook group. I'm ready to BossedUp PH. And if you want to join our paid community, inside sa community na to, we are tracking the progress of each members sa e-course series natin for social media, and we are giving feedback on how they can improve their work. We have a weekly Zoom meeting to make sure that on track yung paggawa nila ng mga challenge natin. And yeah, if you have further questions with the e-course or with the templates that we are selling, or yung mga free templates that you want to grab, feel free to message us on our Facebook page at BossedUp PH, and follow us on our Instagram accounts at @𝐐𝐤𝐬 and at BossedUp PH. So yeah, hope to see you guys on my next challenge. Bye!